Hi, my name's Chris Ward. I'm with Lazy Day Pools, and this is the first video in the Swimming Pool Boot Camp series. The point of this series is to give you basic information about how to run your swimming pool. It's not to make you an expert on swimming pool maintenance or anything like that, but the information for new pool owners, this is going to get you 80% of the way to being an expert on a swimming pool. It's going to be down and dirty, very quick and to the point. And so let's go ahead and get started. There are 9 steps to swimming pool maintenance. So these are the 9 things that you're going to do on a weekly basis to make sure that your pool stays looking good. First, you're going to check the water level. Just visually look and check the water level. The skimmer is the square hole on the side of your pool, and you generally want the water level to be halfway up that hole on your skimmer on the side wall of your pool. So visually check the water level. If it's lower than that, you want to put water in the pool until it's about halfway up your skimmer. The second thing is you want to blow off the pool deck, and I'm giving you these things in order. This is the way that you should do it, in order, because it makes the whole process more efficient. But you're going to take your blower and hold it out over the pool and then blow away from the pool. Even if there's dust that you can't see, it's important that every week you blow everything away from the pool, because throughout the week the wind is going to blow and blow this stuff into the pool. And the more stuff that goes in the pool, even if it's microscopic, that's stuff that needs to be either sanitized or filtered out. And it just makes the pool equipment's job a lot easier if you keep things away from the pool as much as possible. Okay, so the next thing that you're going to do is I'm gonna go through these and list them out. I'm also going to give a printout of this underneath this video for you so that you can print it out for reference. But I'm gonna go through these really quick, and then I'm gonna demonstrate them after I've gone through them. So first we had the check the water level visually. Then we had below the deck. Next we have brush the water line of the pool, and I'm gonna demonstrate that. Manually skim the surface of the pool with the bag on the end of your pole. Then you're going to backwash, then you're going to empty the basket in the skimmer and the basket in the pool pump if needed, if there's leaves in there. Then you are going to test the water chemically, treat the water chemically, and then the 9th thing is that you're going to vacuum the pool as needed. If you have a robot that you use, you probably won't have to vacuum your pool. The robot will do it for you. But if you don't, you'll have to physically vacuum the pool if there's a lot of stuff in the pool that needs to be vacuumed out. So that's it on the list. Now I'm going to demonstrate how to brush the water line. First, you're going to attach the brush to the end of the pole. And then you're going to come over, and it's important, you don't have to scrub this super hard. All you're trying to do is knock the little bits and pieces that have stuck to the side wall at the water line. You're just trying to knock those off of the wall. And if you're doing this once a week, there's not going to be very much on the wall anyway. So you shouldn't be sweating when you're finished with this, but you do want to work all the way around the pool at the water line, just cleaning everything off of the water line. As soon as that's done, what's going to happen is all the stuff that was on the water line is now floating on the surface of the pool because you've worked your way all the way around the pool. So you're going to take this off, put your bag on the pole, and then you're going to walk all the way around the pool, manually skimming everything off of the surface of the water. If you see something out in the middle of the pool, you can reach out and grab it as you go, and then just keep on working your way around. Sometimes if it's bad, I'll make an extra trip. I'll go around twice if there's a lot of stuff on the water. But what you're doing there is you're basically just manually cleaning the water's surface to kind of help the skimmer stay ahead of all the stuff that gets into the pool. So that's that. The next thing is emptying the baskets, and so I'm going to show you real quick, and then we'll cut to a separate video where I'm going to be showing you the other stuff. But this is the skimmer basket. You see, when you take the top off, the skimmer is going to have leaves and other debris that have gone into the skimmer, and the whole point of the skimmer is to skim leaves and other debris off of the surface of the water before it sinks to the bottom. And it just helps you keep the pool cleaner. Now, the one thing I do suggest is before you stick your hand into a skimmer, you take a stick and kind of move it around in there to make sure there's no snakes or frogs or anything like that. Now, I can get a pretty good view in here. I don't see any snakes, I don't see any frogs, so I'm gonna go ahead and pull it out. Also, if you keep the pump off, turn the pump off when you're doing this, it makes it a lot easier. If the pump is running, it's hard to get the basket out because the suction on it is so high. But you can see in there the leaves and stuff. I'm not gonna take it over there and dump it out right now, but turn it upside down, tap it out, get all the leaves out, and then you just put it back in, put the clean basket back in. And that's basically the same process with the pool pump, except you have to unscrew the lid off at the top of the pool pump, take the basket out of the pool pump in the same manner, tap it out, clean it, and then put it back in. So that's pretty much it, and we're gonna switch to another video for the rest of the demonstrations. Thank you. Okay, so now we're gonna talk about backwashing and rinsing the filter. So this is your filter. It's the big potbelly looking thing that's on your over by your pool equipment. Sometimes it's shaped more like a drum instead of a potbelly filter, but regardless, that gives you a pretty easy way of spotting your filter. This is the multi-port valve. It's on 90% of filters that are out there, and basically this lets you backwash and rinse the filter. Backwashing and rinsing the filter once a week is basically the process that we go through to clean the filter, all the stuff that's inside the filter. Throughout the week, the filter does its job by physically filtering all the bad stuff out of the water. So, you know, all of the microscopic stuff that needs to be filtered out is going to be caught inside the filter. But once a week, we want to take and clean the filter so that all that bad stuff is washed out into your, you know, yard. Or I've got my backwash line going out into my lawn because I've got a zero chlor system. And so I can water the lawn with my system. But the main thing is that once a week you want to clean your filter, and so we do that with what's called backwash and rinse. So on a normal, throughout the week, the filter is going to be set. Could you come over and just video the top of this so they can see? So throughout the week, it's going to be set on filter. This is where it's going to be set on. One other thing you need to know, you never turn this multi-port valve without having your pool pump turned off. So the process goes a little bit like this. You're going to turn the pump off, turn the knob to backwash, turn the pump on for about 60 seconds, 1 to 2 minutes. You're going to run it on backwash for 1 to 2 minutes, turn the pump off, and then turn it to rinse, and you're going to run it on rinse for roughly 30 seconds. There's a looking glass over here that if you can, I don't know if you can video that. As long as the water going through this is very dirty, you want to continue to rinse, because essentially what you're doing is during the backwash phase, you're cleaning the filter out. But at the end of the backwash, the top of the filter is still full of dirty water, and we're putting it on rinse for 30 seconds to clean all that dirty water out. If we skipped the rinse cycle and went straight from backwash to filter, it would blow all that dirty water back into the pool, which would defeat the purpose of cleaning the filter anyway. So that's it. Once you do 30 seconds of rinse, you're going to turn the pump off again and then switch it to filter, turn the pump back on, and you're good to go for another week of filtering. So that's the filter, and we'll go to the next video. Okay, so the next step is to chemically test the water. Now, the pool that I have is a zero chlor pool, which means it doesn't use salt, chlorine, or ozone. It's a freshwater pool, which you can look at other videos about that. But because of that, there's no chlorine or salt or anything in there that needs to be tested. In fact, I really only test two things. I test the pH and the hardness. So I'm going to show you how I do that. But just know that with these Taylor test kits, the kits in the blue box here, they have instructions on the top when you open it up for testing everything from chlorine to salt to hardness to alkalinity to everything. And it's very simple. It's just laid out in step-by-step process here. But since I test pH and calcium, or when I say calcium, I mean water hardness, I'm going to just demonstrate how I do that on this pool, and that'll kind of get you moving towards. A lot of pool owners use the dipsticks, where you just dip it in and then match the color on the dipstick with the color on the bottle, and that kind of gives you a general idea. But these Taylor test kits are much more accurate, and I do suggest using them and learning how to use them, because it just makes it a lot easier for you to be more specific about your pool chemistry. So on the pH for a zero chlor pool, we're looking for 7, right in the middle, not acidic and not basic, right in the middle. So anywhere between 6.8 and 7.2 is acceptable, and so that's what we're going to do. One thing, whenever you're testing water, you want to test the water from deeper than 6 inches down, because the top 6 inches of water are not very representative of the whole pool chemistry because of the way the UV rays affect the water. But just dip as deep down as you can, and then turn it up and get yourself some water. I shake it out so that it's to this top mark here, and this is all based on the specific test kit that I have and the instructions. But R4, 5 drops, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then I'm going to put the top on, shake it up, and look at the color. Now this is good. I don't know, turn towards so the backing is. See how red that is? That's very high. That's about 8.0, very high. So I've got to get that down to 7.0, and I'm going to do that by adding muriatic acid to the pool. And actually I'm going to do that right now so you can see. There's actual charts online that you can check based on the amount of gallons of water that you have in your pool, how much muriatic acid to put in. But I'm going to put in about half a gallon just to get my pH down, and then I'm going to do the calculations off camera and get it exactly right so I can get it down to 7.0. But when you pour this stuff in, you want to make sure that you're careful not to splash it on your fingers, on your skin, especially if you have any cuts. It can really burn. Also, you don't want to splash it on the natural stone around your pool, because it can change the color of the natural stone, and it can also etch the natural stone. So I get down close like this, and I pour it in slowly, just like that. And then I'm going to turn the pump on to get the water circulating, but that's roughly half a gallon. That'll lower the pH significantly, and then I'll adjust it a lot more specifically off camera. So that's that. Now let me show you the hardness, how I test for the hardness. So dip down low. This time I'm going to the half line, 25, right there. We're going to put in, it's 5 drops. Well, I'm sorry. First, we're going to put in 20 drops of R10, and this dropper is approximately 20 drops, so I just squeeze that in there so I don't have to count out every drop. And then we put in 5 drops of this. If there's hardness, 2, 3, 4, 5. If there is calcium in the water, it will turn red. The blue will turn to red once it goes into the mix, and as you can see there, it has turned red. Now, we want the calcium levels to be 350 to 450. So each drop that I put in counts as 10. So I'm going to put in 20 drops relatively fast because I know it's higher than 200. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's 200. And what we're looking for, come over here, is for that pink to turn blue, just to change colors. And so we're going to do another 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So now we're at 300. It has not changed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're at 350. It's starting to change colors. 2, 3, that's 380. All right, see how it changed to blue? So that means that the calcium level is at 380. I'm actually gonna add a little bit of calcium, maybe a cup of calcium, just to raise it up just a little bit. But calcium is important for pools that are equipped with a zero chlor pool system, less important for pools that are equipped with a salt or chlorine system. So that's the test. On another video, I'll show you how to vacuum the pool. Okay, so the last stage of the 9 steps for your weekly pool maintenance is to vacuum as needed. So if you need to vacuum the pool, I'm going to give you a demonstration of how to set everything up and vacuum the pool correctly. I'm not going to actually turn the pump on and vacuum the pool, but because that would just take too long, but I'm going to show you everything that you need to know. And the biggest thing that gives people the biggest amount of headache and problems is priming the hose, the vacuum hose. So I'm going to show you how to do that. First of all, I've got the vacuum head attached to the pool pole. That's the first thing. Second thing is I'm going to use the blue end of the hose to attach to the vacuum head. And you can remember that by the color blue is water, and the color blue goes underwater. The other end of the hose is white, and that's what's going to go into the skimmer. So blue part to the vacuum head. And I'm going to show you how to do this. Now, the whole point of this process is we want to fill this hose with water before we start vacuuming, okay? And I'm going to show you the way that I do that because it just makes it a lot easier. Now, first thing, you're going to put the vacuum head into the pool and let it go down as deep as you can. And then what I do is I put my leg around this pole and squat down like this so that my leg is actually holding the pole in place. Now, in order to fill this with water, we have to push it down into the water. But as you do that, the hose is going to want to float because it's full of air right now. So you've got to guide it with your left hand, and with your right hand, you're going to push it straight down into the water so that it's filling with water as it goes. If you don't guide it down straight down into the water with your left hand, it's gonna stay full of air. It's not going to work. So you hold it like this and guide it with your left hand so that the hose goes straight down into the water and so that it doesn't have an opportunity to float on you. As you do this, you're going to just guide the hose and then kind of get the hose out of your way. Keep guiding it straight down into the water. This does take a little bit of practice, so it may not work for you the very first time, but you will get used to it. Now, let's see. All right. Keep it going. Don't let the hose float. Now, if you come closer, the way that you know if the hose is charred or primed completely, water will come out the top of it just like that. Okay, so we know that the hose is now full of water. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this end of the hose and I'm going to put it through the hole in the wall for the skimmer, through there. Make sure the pole doesn't fall in the pool. And then in here, I'm going to take this end of the hose and I'm going to stick it into the hole in the bottom of the skimmer, which goes to the pool pump. So now when I turn the pool pump on, it's going to suck water through this hose from the vacuum head. So essentially, wherever I put that vacuum head, it's going to, you'll see sand and dirt and everything on the pool bottom sucking up into this hose and going into your filter, okay? There's 2 different ways of vacuuming. You can vacuum through filter or you can vacuum to waste. If you vacuum to waste, the water is going to bypass the filter, all the dirty stuff is going to bypass the filter and shoot out into your yard or to the woods or wherever you have your discharge line. If you vacuum to filter, all the nasty stuff in the pool is going to be caught in your filter. And the reason I bring that up is after you vacuum, you're going to want to backwash and rinse your filter again, because now you've put all this dirt from the bottom of the pool into the filter. So that's basically it. Very simple. And that's the 9 steps of the weekly pool maintenance.